A young boy, small and frail, stands all alone in a deep, dark landscape, his destination unknown. The air crisp with cold, he shuts his eyes tight, dreaming warm thoughts in the absence of light. But not before long, the warmth fades to grey, and when he opens his eyes, nothing has changed. It all appears just the same. A blanket of black that smothers the sky, muting all sounds, concealing all sights. Consumed by his fear, he stares into the void, his faith eluding him, belief near destroyed. So frozen he stands, not a muscle could he move, afraid of what's lurking, what his paranoia may prove. And the loneliness sinks in to the boy so young, small and frail, his skin covered in goosebumps, his face ghostly pale, and the silence is grave, not a ringing in his ears, his mind haunted by the quiet, reducing him to tears. And the silence, and the cold, and the dark of the void prove the only constant for the lost little boy. But just as it seemed that all hope was lost, his fate accepted, the point of no return half crossed, a glimmer of light began to glow through the frost. The boy drew a deep breath and looked upon high, to the will-o'-the-wisp burning a hole in the sky, its dull orange flicker mesmerising in sight, a beacon of hope on this darkest of nights. And a voice came a-calling, seemingly out of the wisp, and said to the boy in a tone clear and crisp, "Don't be afraid, you're not alone, little boy. I'm here to help you. My name is Joy. No need to worry, little boy so brave. Just follow my lead, and I'll keep you safe. Now close your eyes tight, and count out to 3. Walk forward 10 paces, and there you'll find me." The young boy, small and frail, gazed hard at the wisp, as it brightened, then paled behind the thick mist, and the words that it spoke echoed round in his mind, reminiscent of home, soothing and kind. So with great trepidation, the courageous young boy summoned his last ounce of strength in his hope to find joy. Holding on to his breath, he closed his eyes tight, slowly counted to 3, and walked into the night. Yet something so strange occurred with each step. Every stride he took forward, the light grew in strength, and in just 10 short paces, the landscape transformed from a desolate wasteland to a paradise reborn. The young boy, small and frail, hands clasped over his eyes, slowly picked through his fingers, unable to disguise the excitement that gathered at the most pleasant surprise, a blazing yellow sun in the brightest, bluest of skies. Lush green grass that rolled out for miles, crystal clear water running as far as the Nile, wild flowers in full bloom in all the colours you could think, the rosiest of reds and prettiest of pinks. And through the sparkle of the sun, standing in a manner so serene, was the most beautiful young girl the young boy had ever seen, with red hair that spread like wildfire and eyes a deep lagoon green, her face angelic in expression, like a porcelain figurine. And with such grace and finesse, she glided toward the boy. "Pleased to meet you," she said. "I'm the one they call Joy." And tapping him on the shoulder, she yelled out, "Tag, now you're it!" and ran off in a hurry. The young boy chased with a sprint. And they ran and they sang and they skipped and they jumped. They swam and they splashed, holding hands in the sun. They smiled ear to ear, laughed till it hurt. They made silly noises, armpit farts and fake burps, rolling down hills and clambering up trees, whistling songs, shooting the breeze. They danced to the music that played in their head and told stories of wonder from books that they'd read. And their wild imaginations conjured fantastic creations who spoke absurd fabrications of the lives that they'd led. And then came a game of hide and seek. "No looking," Joy said, "not even a peek." The young boy shut his eyes and turned right around, buried his face in his hands and crouched down to the ground. And slowly he counted 1 to 10 out aloud. "I'm coming to get you," he shouted. But But when he opened his eyes, he found the light had all vanished. He could no longer see Joy. Now in the dark and the cold, all alone stood the boy. Yet the boy didn't panic, neither did he worry nor fret. He turned a blind eye to the darkness, ignored the cold and the wet, as a familiar voice spoke out from somewhere deep inside of him, reminding him that life was just a succession of games, and Joy's favourite game was hiding. So on walked the boy, now standing so tall, no longer so frail and no longer so small, into the dark of the void where once he did stare, for he would not enter, for he did not dare. But now as he strolled deeper into the unknown, unaware of whether he was any closer to home, a grin grew rapidly across the face of the boy, as there, standing right in front of him, were the open arms of Joy. Thank you very much.